I'm gonna do another cleaning video today. I was recently out for a hike and it was raining, so there was a lot of mud, and so my Red Wing 875s got pretty dirty, and even before the hike they were kind of dried out. I haven't conditioned them in probably 6 to 7 months, so they're due, and this time around I'm going to use the Red Wing brand leather cream, which is a neats foot oil blend. It's not supposed to darken the leather or change the color of the leather, but it will get it nice and conditioned and ready to go. So the process will be similar to the last video I did with Smith's Leather Balm, but in this instance I'm going to use the Red Wing leather cream. The first thing I'm going to do is knock off all of the dirt and the caked on mud with this coarse brush. This one is just a synthetic brush, which comes in really handy for me. It's easy to wash off after, it dries really quick. And in this instance will work really well because I'm probably going to have to add some water just to get at some of that really caked on mud that's on the boots. And then I will follow that up once all the heavy stuff's knocked off. I've got a soft horsehair brush just to get all the remaining little granules and dust and dirt off of the upper. Once that is complete and the boots are cleaned off, I will use the Red Wing leather cream, and again that's a neats foot oil blend, which I'll apply just with a lint-free cloth, and then that will be followed up with the final step, just a second soft horsehair brush that I'll use just to buff everything out, make sure all of the leather cream is absorbed evenly. And that should leave me with some nice clean boots that are conditioned and ready to go. I finished with the coarse brush. So here they are, sort of in an intermediate step. I did have to use a little bit of water on the brush, so I let these dry for a while. So you can see a lot of dry spots there. Because I had to use a little bit of water, there won't be much dust left behind, but I am still going to go over it with the soft horsehair brush. Okay, so now that I've used the coarse brush to get all of that really heavy dirt and mud off, then let them dry because I used a bit of water on the brush. Then I used the soft horsehair brush to get all the last little bits of dust and dirt off. And now I've got a little bit of the leather cream on this lint-free cloth, and the directions say to use sparingly. So now I'm just going to apply, put a little bit on, circular motion, and make sure I get the whole boot covered, and we'll see how things are looking after. Alright, so I've got the leather cream applied to the boots. And I'm just going to follow up with the second horsehair brush. And if you watched the previous cleaning video, I just explained that I use a separate brush because the other one still got all the little dirt and granules in the hair. So I just use this one for the final step of the process. So I'm just going to brush it all off. And what I'm already noticing is that there's still, you can see the color variation where there were scuffs and scratches. And part of using this neats foot oil blend, because it's not going to discolor the leather, part of the reason why is because it's not going to penetrate as deeply. So you will still end up with some of that discoloration. I typically would use Smith's and it would even out a lot of that. It would really get down deep into the grain. But this, you will notice, I'm going to do some close-ups here with the before and after. You'll still see a lot of those scrapes and scuffs. But the leather is nice and soft and supple, and you can tell that it did take in a lot of that. But if using that product, I'm likely going to have to use it more frequently than when I've used the Smiths in the past. Just something to be aware of. So I'm just going to brush these off, make sure everything's applied evenly, no cream kind of left sitting on the welt or anything, and then we'll see how things are looking after the leather cream's been applied. right, so now the boots are nice and clean, nice and conditioned and soft, feeling much better than they were before, and they are ready to go. Thanks.